Welcome to Tier Fun. I'm Andrew, your guide through Modern, and today we have something a little different. This is a deck, well, it's a deck based off of a deck called Blue Steel that was popularized by Zac Elsik, I believe. The bones of the deck are exactly the same, but this is like a mini white splash. Basically just for Stony Silence and 2 Stony Silences and 2 Thalia. My usual way of testing decks I've never played before is to play the base version of the deck first and then go from there. But this deck recently put up a 5-0 finish in a competitive league on MTGO. So I figured they did the legwork for me, and now we get to reap the rewards. The deck, just like Blue Steel, is a deck that is based off of getting artifacts out there ahead of the curve with cards like Chief Engineer, which artifact spells we have Convoke, which means we can tap creatures to pay their cost, essentially. And Grand Architect, really, they're the bones of the deck. We can tap an untapped blue creature to get 2 colorless mana. That's what the card reads. So what we need to make this work are blue creatures. We have a lot of blue 1-drops, all of which either tax our opponent's mana with instant sorceries, or just straight up counters their instant sorceries that target us. Thalia is also as you see, no doubt, there's a minor mana tax theme behind all this. Lodestone Golem's actually a card I really like. I think it's quite good with all the storm going around right now. And it's just annoying for decks that want to interact with you. This version of the deck, besides splashing white, there's a difference, is it's also running Trinket Mage in the main deck. Trinket Mage, you kind of read it. It lets you search your library for an artifact with converted mana cost 1 or less. Well, we got Basilisk Collar, Pithing Needle, Grafdigger's Cage, Relic of Progenitus, or Engineer Explosives, which is something I'm trying out. But, well, I mean, that all sounds good, but we can also tutor up Hangerback Walker, which has a converted mana cost of 0, or Walking Ballista. And that, combined with being able to run Basilisk Collar main deck, I think is the reason they went for this. And I really like Trinket Mage, and I think it's got some underutilized utility in Modern. And yeah, so this is a deck. This is what drew me to the deck. I've been wanting to play a Grand Architect deck for a while, but the fact that someone 5-0'd a league with Trinket Mage main deck got my attention, let's say. We're also running 2 finishers. Like if all else fails, we have these to draw into. Just resilient threats. Actually, I think I might like Batterskull. I played the deck like a couple of times, but I think in theory I like Batterskull more as a resilient threat. It's more resistant to Path than Wormcoil is, and there's a lot of Path going around recently. So we'll see. We'll see how it runs. But I think I would like to go up on Batterskulls. Oh, another difference is that the person, I think their name was Archdeluxe. I'll look it up during the match just because I want to give the person credit for 5-0ing. With this, they were running no fetches, and basically they had Seachrome Coasts and a Darkar Wastes, and I didn't have Seachrome Coasts or Darkar Wastes, so I just decided to run fetches. Mana-wise, life total-wise, I think Pain Lands and Fetch Lands are about the same. If not better for fetch lands, because you get to fetch basics. So it's only a one-time payment of 1 mana. The sideboard was their sideboard card for card, except I added a Thorn of Amethyst and an Engineered Explosives instead of Mindlock Orb, which is actually a pretty sweet card that I hadn't seen before. 4-mana artifact that just says players can't search libraries. I think that's a really powerful effect, but I'm running Flooded Strands and Scalding Tarn, so I figured we'd leave that on the side. It's a card to think about, though, and I'm also, where's that other search? I think Trinket Mage. I suppose you just take out Trinket Mage when you decide it in. But Engineered Explosives, I've heard that the deck kind of had troubles with go-wide strategies, and since we have access to 2 colors of mana in this version of the deck, I figured a tutorable Wrath might be pretty good. All right, well, enough talk. Let's get in there with Blue-White Steel. It was Zac named it after the beloved movie Zoolander and his famous Derek Zoolander's famous pose, the blue steel. that's not anywhere close to it. But if you see in the movie, that might be either funny or the least funny thing you've ever seen in your life. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Okay, so 4 lands, Mausoleum Wanderer, Chief Engineer. These 2 cards combined with an island we very much like. Trinket Mage is good too, and it's going to allow us to get the card that we want or need the most. I think we can keep this hand. It's not great. This is borderline. But the fact that we have turn 1 and a play and a turn 2 play and a turn 3 play, I think is good. Even if those plays aren't necessarily the best. Just saying it now, I'm saying it for you to watch out for and for me to remind myself. I have to be very... I basically forget that I even know that F6 is a key because Mausoleum Wanderer has an ability that I need to have access to. I think we're okay with letting this resolve. This might be that red-black Madness deck. We'll see. If it is, we get to probably get a Cathartic Reunion with this Wanderer, so that's going to gum up their plans. I'd like to draw any artifact that I can convoke next turn. I think that's the draw I want. So I think that leaves me with either Hangerback Walker or Walking Ballista. That's another card that I think was sideboard for a lot of people. Ooh, Call to the Netherworld. Okay, yeah, this is that red-black madness. So Call to the Netherworld is a 0 madness cost. So if you discard it, you get to get back a black creature card for 0. So it's actually pretty sweet value. And they get to discard their Street Wraith, and then they also get to use it this turn. So that's pretty sweet. Honestly, this was the other deck that I was thinking about playing today, but I heard there was a bug with madness effects that allowed I think it was the card that you madness counted double for discard. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along those lines. Okay, that's the worst possible draw. Suppose I could fetch Shock. This deck's pretty aggressive, so I think I want to save it. So let's just run out that Chief Engineer. We'll go Blink Moth, Trinket Mage next turn. We'll have access to 3 convocable mana if this Chief Engineer survives, which does nothing for us, right? Yeah. Another major difference that I forgot to talk about during the deck tech is that the typical blue steel lists run 8 2-mana reducers, this one being the best, the other 4 being Ethereum Sculptor, which just reads as artifact spells cost 1 colorless less to cost, or 1 generic, I guess, less to cost. So it's like a Baral or a Goblin Electromancer for artifacts, and I think that was the main issue I was concerned about with this build. But they 5-0'd. I mean, you can 5-0 with anything, but the fact that there's evidence that this deck did something. So it was worth, I think, testing out before I made changes. Honestly, my changes that I'm thinking about are like cutting white entirely. And, okay, so yeah, I am going to sacrifice this. They still get the value, but they don't get to draw the extra cards at least. And they don't have anything either. Wow. So if they had something that they wanted to, like a hollow one. Oh, okay. So here, I guess we're going to play this next turn. That's kind of unfortunate. Dang. Because we can play it here, and then we could tap for a billion colorless, but that does nothing because we don't have an artifact to play. Unfortunate. All right, so let's just get Trinket Mage. So we have access to 2, 4, 6 mana next turn. Colorless. 6, 7 colorless mana. So we can either get Hangerback Walker, which is very good against their removal, or Walking Ballista, which is the more aggressive of the 2 options. I think we want Hangerback, because they don't have a way to exile it. I think that's the best call here. So we could convoke it out, I suppose. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that. This leaves it vulnerable to removal, but I think it's okay just to get it out there. I think if they had bolts, they would have flung one at this Chief Engineer or the Mausoleum Wanderer. And it's, you know, I want to grow this thing and about eventually to like 4, let's say. Wow, okay. Well, thankfully for us, we have a Grand Architect, which is way better than Chief Engineer now that we have a hanger back out. This looks to be a Gurmag. Yep. So, I suppose we're going to play out... Well, that's pretty good too. I was going to say we're going to play out Grand Architect and Flooded Strand, but I think Blink Moth Nexus is alright. Because I do want to... Well, I suppose we can just fetch 4. I guess we'll get the Hollowed Fountain untapped. Dahlia is a card we don't even necessarily want to see. So maybe we're just going to plan like we're not going to draw it. This is Grand Architect. And then we'll play Mausoleum Wanderer. So now we can... Mausoleum Wanderer and Grand Architect are actually a little bit of a combo. Because it's a lord for blue creatures, and Mausoleum Wanderer's counter ability relies on its power. So we'll be able to... basically, this is a Spell Pierce for instants and sorceries now. So that's pretty sweet. We're not quite... We haven't had the most aggressive draw, but neither has our opponent, so that's not the worst thing. If they attempt to loot here, I think I do just sacrifice. Well, I tap it. I want to tap and pump the hanger back, but I won't be able to outside of combat. I guess I don't want to block yet with the hanger back. Our goal is to grow it up to 6 and then... Or 5, I guess, and then just have it blank that Gurmag. Starting next turn, we can also start attacking for 4 in the air. We can turn this thing blue for the low cost low cost of 1 blue mana. So we're not doing too much, but we are presenting an interesting situation for our opponent, like how aggressive they want to do. This is very hard to interact with board because they can attack for 5, but then we threaten 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm okay taking this trade. Hangerback can eventually grow into a better blocker. We can also play these Blink Moths and turn them into... No, that won't work. I was thinking I could grow them. Lightning Axe. Okay, well that's just slightly annoying. Tap you. So we get 1 pump in. But unless we were to draw... it's still... I would rather have it than not have it. Ooh, and a Fiery Temper. So I suppose they're going to temper the Hangerback. That's what I would do. This is some cool art. I don't think I've seen this promo. So yeah, I guess I will counter this one. Suppose I could counter the Lightning Axe now. I think that's more important. Yeah. So let's counter the Lightning Axe. So we lose our hanger back, but we get to save our Grand Architect, which I think is more important at this point. So I'd say we won that exchange. We still have 2 power, 2 flying power. Grand Architect's still around. We're going to crack in for 5, 6, 7, 8 if we pump everything. Let's see what we got. Ooh, Lodestone Golem. Okay. Plans changed. 1, 2. I think we want to leave up 1. Nah. Let's play that Lodestone. This is a great draw. I wonder... I guess this is a land, and this is not an artifact, right? Tap blue creature, spend artifact spells. Yeah, this is a land that becomes an artifact creature, so I think that means it wouldn't work. So let's just crack in with everyone. Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, sure. They only have one card in hand. I'm not even going to block with the Lodestone Golem. If they attack, because then we're threatening lethal. So yeah, this is definitely, I think, this deck's plan C, probably. But as you can see, it's still pretty good. Yeah, I'm taking that. I don't think they can cast a single thing that I'm afraid of with 2 cards in hand. Yeah. So we got that one. This is a deck that's... Well, I wanted to draw my card. This is a deck that's becoming popular recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was someone who's relatively new to the deck. Fleetwheel Cruiser sounds interesting. We don't have... I don't think we want to be... I mean, Grafdigger's Cage is okay. The thing is, it really only shuts down Faithless Looting. So maybe we want Relic. 1 Relic. Engineered Explosives doesn't do much. Fleetwheel could crack for 5 out of nowhere. I think that's pretty good. Maybe Ceremonious Rejection. And getting down an early Thorn sounds pretty good, actually. Maybe a Dismember as well. So if these are all the maybes. Mercuperion seems pretty good. Thalia, if I want a Thorn, I think Thalia is just as good. I like all these guys. I like all these. I like all these. I like this. I like that. And I like this. So I'd be removing from the Ballista level of creature. And I think Ballista probably isn't all that great. Because they don't have... I think as a threat, Fleetwheel is better. So I think I'm okay bringing in 2 Fleetwheels. The question is, do I want the rest of these cards? I think 1 Relic is fine. Maybe we just don't want a Basilisk Collar. I think it's good enough because they do have... They have hollow ones and they can go wide, and this can help us in a race. So I think that's good enough. The question is, do I want Ceremonious Rejection? I don't think I want Ballistas. Question is, do I want Ceremonious Rejections or Thorn of Amethysts? Non-creature spells cost 1 more. I think they're pretty... we'll do this. Maybe hedge our bets a little. Nah, we'll just keep in Dismember. That seems fine. So the cool thing about this hand looks like butts, doesn't it? I was gonna say the cool thing about Trinket Mage is that it really expands both your deck and your sideboard, because we have 2 Trinket Mages, so every one of is like having a 3 of kind of, but 2 of them cost 3 more. So you know it's not 1-to-1 essentially. I think we can do better than this hand, right? Yeah. Okay, this is better. Mercuperion, all right. Come to the party. Welcome to the party, Mercuperion. That is my very horrible Arnold Schwarzenegger. Please don't laugh too hard. I'm thinking maybe we don't even want Relic. Maybe we want... Nah, Relic's fine. Relic's fine. It helps. It's good. Oop, there's the hollow one. Whoop, there it is. All right, we're going to lead on the Scalding Tarn, which is going to get us a Hallowed Fountain. So we're going to be taking a couple hits from this guy. If we had a 1-drop, we could play a turn 2 Mercuperion, which is unfortunate. but that's a mulligan to 6. So we're going to get hit for 4 more, assuming they don't have any more. If they have some bolts and stuff, then we're in for a real rough time. I think we play out Renowned Weaponsmith first. The reason being it's not as good as Chief Engineer. And if we'll be able to cast, well, no, we'll have 3 mana, so we'll have 1, 2. No, we won't be able to cast Lodestone Golem. I think we still want to play it though. If they have a bolt, we're not looking good. In fact, maybe actually Mercuperion isn't the best against a deck like this because there's a whole lot of removal. Well, maybe there's not a whole lot of removal. There's just, I guess they were playing main deck Lightning Axes, so there's probably Lightning Axes, Lightning Bolts, and Tempers. It looks like they have a bolt there. So their hand looks pretty good. Turn 1 Hollow 1 isn't like game breaking. It's good though. So I'd really like to draw a Grand Architect. That would really help us out because I'm gonna be able to play this Mercuperion. Architect, Wanderer. Okay, Wanderer does it. So let's lead with Wanderer into Chief Engineer, and as long as they don't kill this Wanderer with Engineer on the stack, we're Gucci. Boom, boom. Try attacking through this, nerd. That was a little too mean-spirited. A little too late on that one. Well, I guess there was no proper time for them to do it. And that's why we sequenced it that way. But they could have done the same thing effectively, though. I don't think it's as good as the use of mana. Like, you definitely want to bolt the Engineer. Wow. Did we even show them? We did not show them a single good artifact for this. Like, dang. Well, they got us, though. Well, as long as their hand is air. Oh, yeah, okay, good. So we're going to lead on Lodestone Golem. Yeah. I guess Lodestone Golem. We did show them Lodestone. Maybe I probably should have attacked. Yeah, I definitely should have attacked because I'm not blocking. Yep, so the opponent should be at 14. I was too busy talking to you fine folk. It's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. But it's also not the best thing in the world. Okay, well, they can loot. I wonder why they tapped 2. Oh, Lodestone Golem. Can you tell I'm new to this deck? If only this was a cast trigger, but it's just return to the battlefield. Thankfully, we do get to just eat it. But I don't know if we even do. Oh, I didn't even see that. Flame Wake. Alright. So we're going to get hit for 2 in the air because I don't think I'm blocking that. Because I assume they're blocking with Bloodghast. And we can block that next turn, yeah. So I have to jump here, take 2, eat the Bloodghast. I think that's our line. Conversely, we could block here, take 2. I kind of like that. All right. It means we can't play our Fleet Wheel Cruiser. Dead a Lightning Bolt, of course. Looks like they have it. No, they do not. They have a Delve threat. Joseph Garmaggio, welcome to the party, my friend. Ah, Basilisk Collar, where were you a few turns ago? Alright. Well, Fleet Wheel Cruiser is... Actually, we're just dead here, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, we are. Because I thought I was going to remain a creature till next turn. We did. So, assuming I didn't play that and just kill myself, we would have lasted one more turn because we could have jumped there. Man, Magic Online's being weird for me recently. Maybe that's just me, but I think we're probably losing this game anyways. But it wasn't guaranteed. Do I want to change anything? Throne. Spreading Seas, Stony Silence, Thorn. Thorn was kind of good. Maybe we do want to tax them, especially on the play. Thorn instead of just something like Relic. Well, I think I like Relic over Fleetwheel Cruiser. Oh, do I? It's actually kind of good. The question is, would I run a 4-mana Relic against this deck? And I think the answer is no. But I think Basilisk Caller is just medium if I'm not running Walking Ballistas. But at that point, then we're kind of cutting down. If we can just stick a Batterskull or a Wormcoil Engine, this matchup will become so trivial if we haven't been able to get there yet. I guess we were down on 1 Fleet Wheel. They do go low on life. Maybe we want a Ballista instead of a Fleet Wheel. Okay, I've talked myself into it. Keep the Basilisk Caller. Sure. All right, and the Relic. I think it does just enough. Wowzers. So maybe these Merciperions, huh? Great when you can cast them. So this is like a mulligan to 5, but it's a pretty good mulligan to 5. We get Judge's Familiar into Thalia. I think that's actually good. These are bad, but I think those two are just good enough. Crucify me in the comments if I'm very wrong. It's close. It's definitely a mulligan, but if, say, this Merciperion is just nothing, and this is a mulligan to 6, I think I keep that. And there are worse mulligans. So, yeah. Another thing about that hand is that I was really wanting to play Judge's Familiar turn 1, and I literally just F2'd through that. That's hilarious. Okay, so we've lost the play. We do get to save 2 life because we're playing the Thalia off of a fetched source. Wow. Gotta focus in, Andrew. The people need you. The thing is, I don't think I'm sacrificing for this Faithless Looting, so it ends up being kind of a moot point, I think. It's an extra damage and an extra Convoke. It will end up mattering, but I think I'm keeping that. It's just like literally the reason that I kept the hand was because of turn 1 Judge's Familiar into turn 2 Thalia. So I really would love to get the Storm Tamer down. If Thalia can survive, that would be great. Looks like Thalia is not surviving though. Lightning Bolt. Ooh, Joseph. Okay. All right. Well, we can beat this. We have a lot of convocable draws that we are not drawing. Boom. Boom. So if they attack, they're trading 5 for 4, but they're also at 13, so we got that going for us. I really need to stick this Lodestone. I very, very, very deeply and sincerely want to land next turn. Fine with this. I do think the Merciperions are good in this matchup because they don't have any paths, or I don't think they're running any Thoughtseizes or stuff. Oh, thank you. It does tap us out of Storm Tamer, so maybe we should have went to combat first. Looks like it. Alright, well, we'll get Judge's Familiar out of here. Pew. And now they'll never be able to cast another spell again. Hopefully. So they ended up trading 5 for 3. But that's okay. So I promise this deck isn't as clunky as it appears. We've just been getting weird draws. Which, you know, happens with a deck like this. Sometimes you do just draw the wrong portion of your deck. So opponent should be at 9. Because we didn't play that Judge's Familiar. We should also be at 12. But, ooh, so they had it. That's unfortunate. So yeah, now we're looking for... Ooh, that really stinks. We really need like a Grand Architect this turn. Chief Engineer is pretty good. So we get to cast one of these. But then we also get... Well, I suppose we can cast both of them. So let's do that. Or would we prefer to get in for 2 here? I guess there's a chance that they have another lightning bolt or something. So I think it's better just to vomit out our hand. Well, I guess we had a counter for that. Yeah, maybe that was loose. But now we get to attack through the Skirmag. And they did show that they have Destructive Revelries, but I think beyond that they don't have an answer. A good answer for this. And we have an answer to a Revelry. So I think our taxing is getting there. I will definitely block because we're at 9. Because our board's built up as well as it is, I think we want to... I think we pop that here. Really depends. Yeah, I think we do. They can't attack, but we can. We can attack in for 10 next turn. Maybe I wanted to keep that around for something to protect our Merciperions. The thing is, like, they're at 10, and they can't cast a spell this turn, assuming a non-creature spell, assuming they don't have another mana. And if they did have another mana, well, they were going to get our Thalia anyways. They've already used 3 lightning bolts, so it's unlikely, though not impossible, their last card is Lightning Bolt. Oh, we're so close. We're so close to getting there with this Dirtlefest. That's great. Let's attack in for 10. They got a block, and I think we did it. Can't cast anything, and then we get to jam this Lodestone Golem down their throat. So you can see why this person splashed white for Thalia. It's a Thorn of Amethyst on a stick. So maybe if you want to just stick to blue, you could probably just play Thorn of Amethyst. But Thalia is tried and true, obviously. Lodestone Golem's OP. So now if they want to get rid of one of my Merciperions, they have to have 4 mana to do it. That's insane. Insane! So I'm okay with leaving. Oop, we got an opponent. So much removal and I can't cast. Taxation is a bummer. So they have a handful of removal that they can't cast because we got that sweet, sweet tax. You got to pay the troll toll if you want to get in this boy's soul. All right, so it looks like blue-white steal. Well, okay, they get to get one. It wasn't. I thought there was a GG's. Okay, they were just doing the last thing they could. Yeah, so it was a pretty decent showing. We didn't get to do. I think we did maybe one game where we actually got to convoke out something cool. I think it was just game one. But we did show off the other plan, which was the tax plan, which I'm a big fan of. I really do like tax effects, and I think they're quite good currently in Modern. And Lodestone Golem dodges is actually being 4 mana is actually kind of a cool thing now because push is more played than Bolt. Maybe not. Maybe that's a fallacy. But push is played. Bolt is much lower, less played. There's the word. Than it has been in a very long time. So Lodestone's kind of in a cool spot right now, especially with a deck that you can kind of power it out. I was happy with Merciperion. I definitely shored up that matchup. We don't win that without casting those Superions. Because Gurmag's a pain and a half to deal with. Ooh, excuse me. The Fleet Wheels obviously were horrendous, but that was. I don't think it's for this matchup. I think it's probably just for straight control or like Death Shadow. Just to be able to attack for 5 out of nowhere is pretty powerful. Any matchup also where you're just straight up aggro, the aggro man, you probably just take out Hangerback Walker and maybe Thalia. But yeah, these cards right here all give this deck game against a lot of decks that it would probably struggle with. In other situations, just being able to tax their mana. Oh, not to mention the other MVPs, Mausoleum Wanderers. Like, all these cards are pretty innocuous, and you play them, and no one's ever like, dang, I can't beat that. It's usually like, all right, that's kind of annoying. That's universal. That's what everyone does. Like, all right, that's kind of annoying. But by the end of the game, these things end up, more often than not, end up actually having a strong effect on the outcome of the game. So I'm happy to be playing them. I think some decks were playing 8 in total, and some decks were actually not playing any Judges Familiars, and they were playing all Siren Storm Tamers, and some were playing all Judges Familiars. I tried to look around. I don't know if there's a big blue steel, there's definitely not a blue-white steel resource online. I don't think there's a big following. I think there is a following for the deck. I think there was people on MTG Salvation, but there's not like, no one was talking about this deck, which I just saw the other day, and I was like, that seems interesting. I'm sure, looking at it, it seems like it's already a weird deck, and then going down on 2 reducers for the Trinket Mage package being main deck. So it's like a deck that isn't necessarily 100% solved deck list wise. There's not an agreed upon deck list by everyone. And you're already adding changes to it, so I can see why maybe people wouldn't be talking about it right away. But I don't know. I'm just a sucker for Thalia. The decks I build are always like really weak to Thalia and Lodestone Golem type stuff. And like when you can run 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 taxing effects, 6 really good ones, and then 7 kind of good ones, it got my attention. And we didn't even get to do plans A or B really with this deck in that game 1, and we still wrecked face. Like, that's just the power of mana taxing, you know. I mean, it's obviously not good against every deck. Not every deck plays a ton of non-creature spells, but most decks these days play a healthy bit of non-creature spells, especially post-board. Like, that might be a reason why perhaps maybe we don't need the Thalia, maybe we want just more Thorn of Amethysts. But it's relatively painless to try it out. So, and this person got a 5-0 with it, so I think it's worth a shot. Ooh, a message. Gio, to you too. We've had some real bud openers though, haven't we? TY. MP. Just like all 2-letter responses. I think we can do better than this. Let's mulligan. Well, if we get a land, this hand is very good. So for that reason, land on top. All right. So they're gonna think we're blue-white spirits, which is cool. We're gonna lead on Wanderer because we're not gonna have the mana open to counter anything. So if this was a Ethereum Sorcerer, ooh, a Myria, Skyrune. So in a Myria deck, I don't know how good we are against them. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, if this was an Ethereum Sorcerer, we still wouldn't be able to cast it this turn. But I think we play it anyways. So they're going to be playing Paths, but I think that's their only removal. And Ballista's going to do a pretty good job at keeping their weenies down. If you didn't lose life this turn, put a quest counter. So if they have 4 quest counters, so we have to continually do damage to them, essentially. Okay, so here we can play Chief Engineer into, well, we can't play these two. So maybe we, so 1, 2, 3, we can play a 4 power, or we can use 4 mana for Ballista. I think that's all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. X is 2. 2/2 Ballista. And away we go. So this is target instant or sorcery spell. So it's the beginning of each end step. Okay, well, we'll be able to start attacking them next turn, so it's not a big deal. They can't play X1s. Ooh, they were running black. Okay, so I have literally no idea what this deck was. I thought this was going to be like a Soul Sisters style deck, but it looks like it isn't. I'm still saving this. 2 isn't 4. Oh, it's the beginning of each opponent's end step. I finally read it. I finally did it. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to not attack with this. Should have played the Mausoleum Wanderer, though. That is a pun. Beef it up. Pump up the jams. Play another Wanderer. So we're super good at this game, as you can tell. We sequence everything really optimally, and we are but mere seconds away from the Pro Tour. Yeah, that was horrendous, and I am. You should be embarrassed for watching this because I'm embarrassed for it. All right, so boop, counter. That feels good. Unfortunately, this is only a target one. So if they have another one and another mana, we're SOL. Oh, but now we're not. Now we are not. Bam. Well, hang on. Yeah, I think this is okay. So they can't wipe the board next turn. One, 2, 3. So next turn we can swing in for 8, 9, 10, 11. So we don't need to play this thing, so I won't. Plus we can't even because we played Lodestone Golem. So we're just actually playing optimally there. So the opponent's on a black-white control list for sure. So we're going to counter this. Well, I guess we can't, but it's not that big of a deal, right? Destroy target artifact or enchantment. They're main decking Disenchant. That's insane now. So we could tap them down, but I don't think there's anything they're going to play. That's really scary. So, yeah. You can have your 3-mana disenchant, you filthy, ridiculous animal. So we'll see where this path is going, because that is where it feels like it is. Oh, Pithing Needle, interesting. So they're probably gonna name Ballista 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we won't be able to win next turn, which is kind of a bummer. But there's no reason to pop it here because it's still a 3/3. So unless they have like a pact, then we're getting in for 3 anyway, so it's kind of it's pointless. Ooh, Grand Architect. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's Xaxes, ladies and gents. This deck can beat black-white main deck disenchant, which seems like a horrendous matchup. I can't believe they're main decking disenchant. That's insane. So we played around our misplays. We got the dub. The exact dub. So mana taxing seems like it's going to be great against this deck, so I'm all about that. Boop. Fleet Wheel is probably pretty good too. Walking Ballista is going to be so-so, especially because they're main decking Pithing Needle, so they're definitely going to be wanting to name that. Yeah, and I don't think Basilisk Collar is all that good either, so let's just get out 3 of these bad boys. Engineered Explosives can get the Luminarch Ascension, which I suppose is probably pretty good. I don't think there's another card I want. Pithing Needle to name Luminarch Ascension? I don't know. I don't remember the name. It's either Luminarch or Lunarch or maybe none of those. But we try. I'm trying real hard. Batterskull and Wormcoil seem good. Wormcoil maybe seems medium because they're undoubtedly running Path, but they're also running board wipes. So I think out of all of these, Pithing Needle is probably the one we want. Do we even need Throne of the God Pharaoh? Probably. It's probably just good enough. Hangerback Walker seems better than Ballista, and Ballista seems better than anything else, I think. So yeah, we've just kind of traded in Ballistas for Fleet Wheel Cruisers, and yep. And a Pithing Needle for a Ballista as well. I think this is a horrendous matchup, Black-White. I don't know what to call it besides Black-White Disenchant. So we'll see. We'll see how games 2 and 3 go. I don't. If I was to make a prediction, if I was a betting man, I don't see them going our way. But you know, we're pretty lucky, right? Oh no, we're not lucky. Well, we can turn 1 name Luminarch Ascension, but I mean, one land. This is pretty good. So we're on the draw. We have 21 lands. We have 2 draws to land. I don't think we can do it. Oh, it's so close though. So it's basically 1 and 3. It's not. It's way less than 1 and 3. It's more likely than 1 and 3. But I like to think about the worst case scenario. I think we're just gonna mulligan into something better. All right. They could also very easily have Stony Silence, which is another reason to take out Ballistas. We're going to be keeping. I'd love to see it a 1-mana play here. Trinket Mage. I think bottoming for a 1-mana play is just better, so let's just do that. Trinket Mage is good though. If one of these were land, I would probably think harder about it. Where are you scrying, dude? Hey, dude. Put it on top. How lucky. Oh, yeah. Play perfectly, get rewarded. Just try resolving a 2-mana instant and/or sorcery and see what happens. What? No. No. This was a humans deck? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, that's a great draw. I cannot believe that was a humans deck. What? Bam, bam. 2 mana, 5/6. Pretty weak to disenchant though. How do they have main deck disenchant, Lunarch Ascension, and then sideboard play a Champion of the Parish off of a Temple of Silence? What insanity. This is amazing. I can't believe that. So, path, we could sacrifice it, but they'll just pay. Maybe that's just good enough. But getting a land's fine. We'll get snow covered to make him think. So this is just a Stone Cold Brew, and I love it. I love it. They must have ways to recur these creatures. Probably like... what am I thinking of? So we can play 2... I think I like just playing... This does the most damage. 1, 2... Oh. Well, I guess we're doing that anyways. This, you have to kind of click on it to activate its ability, and I kind of forget that. So it's brew versus brew, except our brew has had success. This might not be a brew. I'm pretty up on most modern decks, but I don't think anyone's up on every modern deck, and I'm certainly not. So Student of Warfare. Okay, so that's leveling up. Lodestone Golem is so phenomenal. Like it's non-artifact spells. It's not just. I mean, it's just so good. I love it. I love it so much. So Island lets us play Renowned Weaponsmith. This is a 1/1, correct? And level up is a sorcery, I have learned. So we can actually swing in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10. I think that sounds good. 1, 2, 3. I guess we're not swinging in with the Arbiter, but we can Architect. We can swing in with everyone else. Let's put the pressure on them. I guess I don't want to swing with Lodestone either. So yeah, my all-out attack has turned into a much more meager version of my all-out attack. So which one of these would I prefer? I think Weaponsmith. Oh, I suppose I could have attacked with Lodestone and hoped they didn't see the Grand Architect's ability. But, you know, I didn't see it either, so they definitely wouldn't see it. So they might even attack into it then. We'll see. We will see. So if they're full of 1-drops like it seems like they are, they're not going to be able to play them without 3 mana, which is awesome. They tapped 2 there, maybe thinking that it was a colorless to level up. So we'll block. So we're definitely attacking in this turn. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, hang on. Undo, undo, undo. Undo, undo. Let's just attack. Let's see if they see the Lodestone, right? Because it's artifact creature comes blue, and then it'll be a 5/4. Yep. Let's see how greedy they are. Take it. So then 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess we'll leave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess this is the best way. For some reason, I thought I could do it and leave up more mana, but I can't. So yeah, I think this might as well be good gravy. By good gravy, I mean, of course, good game. I'm interested, if any of you guys know what this deck is, I'm interested to learn more about it, because I've always kind of liked the idea of little creatures plus board wipes and ways to recur them. I think it's like, I can see the art. It's like 2 white and then an X, and it's returned that. You can also play, it's like Gideon reaching out. It's like Call to the Ranks or something weird like that. Some weird card that I really had a hard on for. Magic speaking. That was not very good. But I think every card is playable under the right circumstances. Precinct Captain, another card I really liked. This is when I got into playing, like I've been playing Magic since I was like a wee lad, but I haven't been playing competitive Magic until recently. Like, and this, well, relatively recently. And Precinct Captain, like Return to Ravnica was when I started playing competitive Magic. So we can just swing in here. Hold open blue for these two jabronis. They don't have nearly enough action to stop us. Too late on that land. LOL, yeah. We're not going to swing in with the Architect, though, because we're not suicidal. 2, 4. I suppose we attack, because they have to block those two anyways. I don't have anything funny or witty to respond to that, so I will not. So if they double block here, they do get rid of it, but then they die. So they can't. So they can survive this turn, but that's about it. Look at this smart attacking by me. Let's give them a lesson on Grand Architect and artifacts. Boom goes the dynamite. We'll play this and await our stony demise. I don't think there's a board wipe that costs little enough to be able to cast. If there is, then if there's a 2-mana board wipe that gets all of us here, then I have. Well, even then we could counter it. So if there's a 1-mana board wipe that gets everything. But I think even then we could counter it, right? Okay, if there's a 0-mana board wipe that gets everything here, then I should have held this Chief Engineer back. This needs to be. I don't see them. They're going for the throat. We shall let that resolve. That's the way the news breaks. This got too spicy for the pepper. There's no reason to play it. Let's just crack in. Yup, I took blue-white steel. Ruiner of brews. So I think what they were trying to do, ideally, was get down a whole lot of 1-mana creatures, probably 1 and 2. I'm sure they probably also have that Kite Sail Freebooter and Tide Hollow Scholar too to mess with hands, and then also Wraths because people go over the top of that, and then they have a way to recur creatures, but I did not see it. So yeah, you kind of get to see like maybe our opponent wasn't doing the strongest things possible. Let's get in here, but we did get to lock them out, and they were full of low to the ground 1-mana cost spells, like good. Like, they would have been able to cast spells if it wasn't for Big Daddy Lodestone. This is a 1-lander that I will not keep. I bet you guys were scared for a second. I thought I was going to keep it. Ooh, okay. Well, the mana is coming to haunt me. I think we keep it. Yeah, we definitely keep it. Obviously, if we had 2 islands, I would... Ooh, straight up control. I don't know how good this is going to be. Let's lead on Glacial Fortress tapped. Let's lead on Island. Let's make him sweat. If we had 2 islands, I would have bottomed looking for a 1-drop. As it stands, this this Chief Engineer isn't even that good without a 1-drop. I think I'm gonna jam it anyways. What do I jam Thalia? I don't think anyone's running mana leaks these days. Q mana leak. We did it. So this is gonna get pathed, which is 1 less path for our big beaties. Just Snapcaster. That's an interesting time to run out. What does that say about their hand? That they would run out of Snapcaster with the first striker on the board. It says Jeskai. That's what it says. All bets are off. I will block. I will also attack. So this says Spell Queller here. So I'm still attacking because I'd rather have this Arbiter and Mercuperion out. So I assume they're going to play Spell Queller here. Okay, they don't. So of the 2, which do I want to get quelled? Chief Engineer. But if they don't have Queller... Yeah, I think they have Queller. But they would have ran it out there, right? No? So they just didn't want the free eats. Interesting. Well, I was glad I eventually played around it. I was kind of convinced that was a bluff. But the bluff became the master right there, and they got me. So they can attack in for 4. But I'm okay with that. I'm not too okay with it, though. I would like to draw. Ooh. So I suppose we attack in. Queller seems pretty good against us. Not gonna lie. I'm kind of worried about it. No Queller. The fact that they didn't even want to eat my Thalia, too. There's the mana leak. Oh, that one hurts. So we really needed that to resolve so we could play that Superion. That stinks. So things are not looking good. Really need to find a Batterskull. But they're never going to tap out again. So, I mean, I think we just have to jam. Whoop. I think we're losing this race, but I don't see how else we win. I'm really expecting, I'm expecting them to eventually want to do something here. Sure. That's kind of brutal, but we also have another Thalia, so it's not the worst. There's another reason I was kind of being a bit willy-nilly with my Thalia attacks, because I had a replacement. Yep, that's basically going to be game. We really need a more explosive hand to deal with the mountain of interaction this deck will be running. I assume this is also running Geist of St. Traff because it's running Colonnade. Yeah. So we can't even, this isn't even Artifact now that these are, so we can't even get that back. 2-turn clock. Actually, no, we're just dead next turn if they have a land. Rip me. They're fetching now, which to me says they do have a land. Or they're just going to cycle into them. So that's 2, 4, 6. Land or a bolt? I will concede to land or a bolt. I think even if everything goes perfectly this game, we're still in a rough spot because one of these is getting pathed, and they can just attack in for 2 in the air forever. So what's good here? I think Grafdigger seems good for their Snapcaster. Thorn seems good for their spells. Relic, I don't think is something we want, but maybe. Dismember is good to get rid of that really, really annoying card blindness. Consult your doctor if you suffer from card blindness, such as I. Spell Queller. So I think I want an answer to Queller. I think we want all of these still. They're going to be attacking with. They attack to win. So I think Ballista's still good, and Basilisk Collar is still good. I think everything is still good, but what's bad? Maybe nothing? Maybe nothing's bad? If that's the case, I don't like that. Which means we don't approve after sideboard. So maybe we do go down. Maybe we go down and Hangerback Walker because they have more paths. They have paths in addition. But I think we overload their removal enough. Maybe we just go down on Mercy Superion because it's going to be hard for us to cast. Because they're going to be killing all of our stuff, all of our early plays. And we just bring in like more of a grind them out package. I kind of like that. The words grind them out are appealing to me right now. So our game plan is going to revolve around Thalias, Thorns, and Lodestones. Oh my, I like that. I like that. Hangerback Walker or Ballista. I suppose we'll keep the Ballista. Love to play first, thank you, Magic. Let's get this game. We can win this one. Yeah, let's keep that. I don't see this surviving, but we can also play Throne of the God Pharaoh. We do have to fetch Shock here. So I want access to white in case we draw Thalia. I was kind of hoping to play Affinity. Let's test out the Stony Silences. Convoke. Chief Engineer one time. Ah, too bad. Alright, so best play is Renowned Weapon. Highest upside is Renowned Weaponsmith. Highest damage upside is Throne of the God Pharaoh. If we play Throne, we're going to be able to get in more damage. I think I like playing Weaponsmith. Because Weaponsmith is going to attract a removal spell next turn. And I'm going to sacrifice Mausoleum Wanderer to whatever removal spell it is to tap them out. And then next turn we can play Throne or Grand Architect into any of these things. Okay. So it's just a 2-mana spell. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So we can play... I guess it's not phenomenal. We can play around Mana Leak with this. Oh, that's good. So they have to Mana Leak it now. I guess this is playing around Mana Leak as well. So boom, 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 Grand Architect, and let's get down a 2/2 Walking Ballista, please and thank you. Taxation, man, love it, love it, love it, love it. Tap you, and then we'll play Throne of the God Pharaoh next turn, and we're looking actually like we're in phenomenal shape. Yeah, this is looking great. We have Academy Ruins to get back Walking Ballista. So they're just trying to path that, and I'm saying no. Too good. Mainly because I'm sure they have more removal. Like, it doesn't matter too much that this is still around. It's great for next turn. Oh, wow, we just won. That's insane. So yeah, like, you can see, like, this card is good against Modern right now. Wow. Wow, this is setting off my brewer's senses. This is making me want to play a deck with all these bad boys. Maybe it is just this deck. Maybe we can just go Thorn in the main deck or something, or 3 Thalias. I don't know. That was good. That was real good. The question is, do we want these cards? They're pretty medium. What would we bring in? Mercy Perion? I like shutting down Snapcaster. And this cycle is at worse. I think we are just on the taxation plan, as you saw. That I mean, we were nowhere near quote unquote winning the game, but that just straight up won us the game right there. Yeah, we're keeping this. This is great. Play versus draw plays a whole lot too. So they have a turn 1 bolt, it appears, or an opt. You can never tell these days. Ooh, Basilisk Collar. That's a little bit of spicy tech right there. Island Wanderer. So I'm already thinking I want way more. I think I want 8 taxation 8 1-drops, because when I have a 1-drop, this deck feels 10 times better than when I don't. Okay, so we can't be countered here. So I'm going to play this Wanderer. If they want to bolt or burn this one in response, that's fine. If they want to leak it, that's good too. And maybe we get them to remand it. Yeah, that's fine. I will not pay for it, and we will instead play out Basilisk Collar. Combo! Another thing that I thought of, I think I kind of mentioned this when playing the deck, but I played Basilisk Collar my fair share in Modern, but I've played it with Grim Lavamancer and Is it Staticaster? So I was kind of thinking maybe I want red instead of blue. Alright, here... This is just going to get Spell Quellered. Well, let's attack at least. Play versus draw is huge. Oh, wow. Okay, this is great. It's unfortunate. But I'd much rather have, if I could choose, I'd much rather have this on board. Can we just tap a blue creature? No, okay. Yeah, this is blue. Trying to break the game. I would love to equip this. If they don't have a removal for Walking Ballista next turn, I think we win, which it seems insane, but oh god. Looks like they might not. This is great. Because equipping a Basilisk Collar to Ballista is the best kind of value. 1, 2. We can also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can also play Wormcoil Engine, but I think we want to do this first. So I'm thinking this is Cryptic. We'll see though. If this was what's that other one? Batterskull, we could play it here. Oh wow, where? Interesting. So say we turn it blue, and then we tap it for 2. We get 5 mana. It's not enough. We'll just. Well, Do we want to play Dismember this turn? So we could ping him for 2. Oh, dang it. If we got to equip this, it was GG. So activate, make it blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's no way we can get to 6 mana. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna ping them and attack in. We'll make it blue. So we could also block Queller, but I think we're winning. Especially with Wormcoil in hand. If we can resolve this Wormcoil, I'm feeling good. Dang, they happen to have Wear. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I'd really like to find a way to play this Wormcoil engine, but I just don't see it happening. Well, that's a way. 1, 2. I think we just play it for 2. Well, I suppose we can play it for 4. Really hope this resolves. It does not. But now it's 1 closer to this. Yeah, let's just get it for 1. If they have another removal spell, they might be inclined to use it. Looks like they do. Oh, that's great. That's actually quite good. So we have successfully, potentially, ground them out of their removal. They have a 2/2. I'm thinking this last card is not. It has to not be good for us to have a chance here. This Wormcoil has to resolve basically. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah. I would like to play this and this, but we can't. If they have a mana leak, this is gonna sting. Please. Cryptic is their last card. And they tapped poorly, so we have to go through. Oh, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Alright, well, they don't have any cards left. We get to equip this Basilisk Collar and attack in. I think that's better than playing Grand Architect in this here. Well, maybe it's not. Oh, they have Vendilion Click? That's pretty good. So yeah, now I'm going to play the Grand Architect. I suppose I just let them get Dismember there, but I'm not really all that concerned about Dismember. So they attack us to 5. Next turn we get in for 3, 6, 9. That seems good. We can tap this, equip that. Seems good. Hiya! Alright, well, by the skin of our teeth, we are grinding. Oh, they have something else? Wow. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have to have a bolt. If they don't have a bolt, I think we're good. It's also BM because they know our hand. Well, they don't know our hand. They don't know our hand. Don't play anything. Don't play anything. You're out of cards. You're out of cards. Ugh. Don't tap a red. Don't tap red. Okay. That's 1. I don't see us winning next turn unless we draw a Ballista. Okay. Hang on, I think that does it. So 3 for Ballista, cast it for 2. Equip this to it, make it blue, gain 1 life. Oh, I don't know if that's good enough now. So maybe we can play, yeah, we're 1 mana short. 2, 4, 5. Dang it. I think we have to play, well, let's see, we can go up to, we can play this, go up to 4, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't, we needed a land. Dang. Or if they didn't have that walking Ballista. Or that electrolyze, sorry. So 1, 2. Wait a second. This might do it. 3, 4. Ballista for 2. Oh yeah, I forgot that convoked. No counterspell, please. My guys. Make it blue. No, sorry. Not that it really matters. So they're dead to a burn spell. Undo. Whoo-wee! Do they have a burn spell? Okay, we're up to 3. Still dead to a bolt. Oh my god. Yes! Yes! Yeah! Oh. Oh, that was good. That was a good win. That was a real good win. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. So I'm in love with this deck. It's kind of weird because we barely got to do like the thing that makes blue steel. But on the other hand, we got to do exactly the thing that makes blue steel, which is be resilient, be able to attack on many different angles, and just to be able to grind out a win if necessary. Taxation effects saved my keister. Oh my god, they saved my keister. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say. I didn't want more of these effects, but maybe I also did want more of these effects and I just didn't notice. I think I am going to wind up testing with the Ethereum Sorcerer, this guy here. Okay, I've spelled something wrong. Per usual. Ethereum Sculptor, yeah, sorry. I think I've been saying Sorcerer this whole time, sorry. I'm going to test with this, but I love this list. These taxation spells, freaking Trinket Mage coming in clutch. Man, I'm tingling a little bit. That was a good one. That was a good one. Also, sidebar, this deck all in total, minus the Engineered Explosives, minus the Thorn, +1 Dismember, and +1 Orb, whatever that orb is 133 tickets. Now, the mana base is different as well. There's no fetches, there's 3 Hollowed Fountains, and it's a Darkheart Wastes and Seachrome Coasts. But this deck is cheap, yo. And, never mind. And if that is, if budget is a concern, sure, this isn't, not all these cards are gonna like transfer into other decks besides maybe Walking Ballista, but it is a relatively, or Batterskull, you know, if you want to play Legacy, but it is a relatively cheap way to play Modern Magic, and you're either gonna have an explosive opening hand reminiscent of Affinity, or you're gonna have a hand where you're gonna tax the crap out of your opponent, and or you're gonna have a beautiful mix of both, and they'll just be like, I can't do anything. And that was basically that was the most consistent thing that our emotion that our opponent showed tonight. That was really hard to get out of my mouth. It was the taxation was really effective against them, and the frustration of not being able to cast your spells. Like, they had answers in hand, but they just couldn't do it because we locked them out. And that's great. I think Lodestone Golem is a good spot right now. Yeah, I love this deck. Blue, white, steel, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this video in particular for you guys, and look forward to more content. I think if memory serves, we just busted it up to 100 subscribers. So this is like a little mini celebration. That's insane. One of my first goal was to get 100 subscribers, but I thought that was going to be like a year from opening my channel, and you guys have shown me all the love in the world, and that's just phenomenal. I'm just really glad you guys like it, and we're gonna still be pushing out tier fun modern videos forever. Insert meme of me saying that after like a lightning bolt strikes me tomorrow. Feel free to make that if that exactly happens, because I would find that hilarious if I was still alive. Anyways, thanks once again to everyone, and thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.